Lesson 2. The elements of a simple sentence. We have seen in the previous lesson that a simple sentence in general contains two main parts, the subject and the predicate. In this lesson, we are going to focus on other elements within these two parts. We can find 5 types of elements within a simple sentence. The subject, S, the verb, V, the object, O, the complement, C, and the adverbial, A. The two main elements which are obligatory are the subject and the verb. We can never find a simple sentence without a subject and a verb. The other elements, the object, the complement, and the adverbial, sometimes are found and sometimes they are not. The subject. The subject of a sentence is the person or thing the sentence is about. The underlined parts in the following examples are subjects. He bought a delicious cake. Birds eat berries. A jeep is my first choice. The speed of light is 186,000 miles a second. The soldiers are brave. The Taj Mahal is one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. Sticks and stones broke his bones. We notice in these examples that the subjects come before the verbs in sentences. This is in the English language. Other languages may have the subjects in other positions. There is an exception in English about the position of subjects. Here it is the case of questions and after the expletive there, and we have seen this in the previous lesson. For example, an example of a question, was the statement true? We see that the subject and the auxiliary are inverted. So, the verb comes before the subject. There is a problem. Here, the subject of this sentence is a problem. The second element is the verb. Let's start from the examples. John arrived early. Mary feels happy. The buildings are very high. The bus was leaving the terminal. Grandma may come tonight. Mary has been waiting for the reply for many days. The boots must have been being shipped. They may have been preparing the room. We notice in these examples that the verb comes after the subject. Another remark is that the verb element is not necessarily one word. It depends on the tense of the sentence. Sometimes we have one word, sometimes we have 2 words, 3 words, or 4 words. This depends on the tense of the sentence. We notice in the first 3 examples that we have only one word. It is the main verb. But in the other examples we have more. There is a rule here. In the English language, we have the VP or the verb phrase. So in order to speak about the verb element, we say the verb phrase, VP. The VP should have or must have a main verb. This is a necessary element. We see here in the box a main verb. Sometimes the main verb is preceded by auxiliaries, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 auxiliaries. In the English language, we can have up to 4 auxiliaries before the main verb. Concerning the meaning of the verb, sometimes it expresses an action, like to arrive or to leave, to come, to wait, to prepare, etc. These are action verbs. It can also express a sensation or a feeling, like the verb to feel. And thirdly, it can express a state of being, like the verb to be. or the verb to seem or to appear. Now we summarize what a verb is. The verb expresses an action, a sensation, or a state of being. It can be a single word, one word, or a verb phrase, many words, consisting of a main verb and up to 4 auxiliaries. We call them auxiliaries or helping verbs. Of course, the auxiliaries come before the main verb. Here we should also make a little remark concerning the main verb. Sometimes the main verb has an ending, like ed, ing, s. This depends on the tense of the verb, whether it is a simple, a perfect, or a continuous tense. We may ask ourselves about the rest of the sentence. What comes after the verb? Do we have one element, two, three, or what elements exactly? This depends on the type of the verb. So the choice of the verb determines what other elements are used in the